Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed listening to Lester's Dreadful Sweaters. I love the language in this book. There's lots of really great vocabulary words as well as that clickety clack that comes up over and over again. We're going to focus this week on some synonyms, so words that have the same or similar meaning to each other, as well as to drop in a big figurative language term, onomatopoeia. So let's dive into some of the words this week for Lester's Dreadful Sweaters. All right, I hope you've enjoyed the book, Lester's Dreadful Sweaters. There's a lot of fantastic words in this book, so let's dive in and see what we can do and what we can learn. In this book, we see a lot of figurative language. Basically, the author is using words in a specific way, kind of like a game. In this book, the author needs a way to describe the sound that Cousin Clara's knitting needles make. There's no words to describe sound, so he has to create a word that sounds similar. That's an onomatopoeia. Here are some examples. Poof, kaboom, arg, vroom, crack, gulp. For more ideas on how to use an onomatopoeia or examples, check out videos about them in the playlist on my channel. Another form of figurative language that the author uses is alliteration. You can see the example here. I have heard how hedgehogs hog the hedge. Notice that several words in the sentence all start with the same sound. Notice I said sound, not letter. Alliteration is when each sound in a series is the same. You may be familiar with famous tongue twisters like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. That's an example of alliteration. Again, check out the YouTube channel for other suggestions of videos that can help you understand what alliteration means. Synonyms. No one wants to read a book with the same words over and over and over again. Lester said, he said, she said. Blech. We want to use more exciting and varied words, so we pick words with similar meanings. Take a look at the picture of the boy. He's got several words around him. Happy, elated, jubilant, cheerful, glad, delighted, ecstatic. These are all synonyms that have similar meaning. Notice we made a bubble map on top of the boy. A bubble map is a great way to think about synonyms. Could we add the word sad to our bubble map? No, it doesn't have the same meaning because it's an antonym. An antonym has an opposite meaning. Again, if you need more clarification or help understanding synonyms and antonyms, look for more video resources on the YouTube channel. All right, now let's look at some words that came up in the story. Consumed. In the beginning of the story, the author sets the scene by saying, Cousin Clara's cottage was consumed by a crocodile. What a fun sentence to say. It's a great example of alliteration. Notice each of those words starts with the k sound, but it's written with the letter C. Alliteration has to do with repeating sounds. In this story, consumed means to eat or devour. Dreadful. This is even in the title of the story, and it comes up several times, often to describe Lester's sweater of the day. Look at that sweater. Would you wear it? It's terrible. I would be embarrassed to wear that in public. Dreadful has several synonyms. Some examples to get you started are terrible and awful. Lester is used to taking care of his appearance, combing his hair and looking tidy. He likes it when people notice and they compliment him. They might say things like, "Oh, Lester, your hair looks fantastic." Or, "Lester, did you try something new with your hair? It looks great." Complimenting is saying something nice about someone or something. Irksome. Look at the little girl in pink. Her name is Enid Measles. She is not very nice to Lester in the story, and he's not a fan of her. At this point in the story, Lester's having a bad day, and Enid's comments are not helping. He does not want to hear them. Lester uses the word irksome for the second time in this part of the story. It means annoying or irritating. It's a way that you can tell he's having a really, really bad day. Shredded. In the story, the sweaters keep getting ruined in different ways. Once again, the author wanted to show different ways that the sweaters get ruined. So, shredding means to tear or rip something. You can shred paper, you can shred chicken to make it into pieces you can eat. It means to tear or rip. Hideous. We have yet another terrible sweater. In this case, the author's using a new word instead of terrible. In this case, hideous means ugly or appalling. This book has a lot of words that mean really, really bad. Have you noticed that? All right, here are some of the vocabulary words we've talked about. The words in red at the top are kinds of figurative language. So those are ways that you can use words. You don't have to show me how to use those words in a sentence, but some of the activities will ask you to show you know what those ideas mean. Again, if you need more help, check out the videos on the YouTube channel. So the words in black are the new vocabulary words, and these are the ones we'll be using for most of the activities. Level 1 activities. Draw a dreadful sweater. What would that look like to you? What details could you add to make it dreadful? Draw a picture that shows what each word means. Look at the black words on the earlier part of the video. Pick one of them, or more if you want to challenge yourself, to show what does that mean to you. What is hideous? What is compliment? And as always, try to use a word in conversation with a parent, sibling, or friend. Level 2 activities. These might be a little bit harder, so challenge yourself or ask for help if you need it. We talked about synonyms and then antonyms. Use pictures or words to show you know what that means. Put a word of your choice in a full sentence and draw a picture to match. As always, use a word in conversation with a parent, sibling, or friend. Level 3 activities. Earlier, we saw a bubble map to describe someone. Create a bubble map to describe Lester's sweaters. You can use words from the text, or you can use your own words to show what you think. Pick 2 words from the board, the black words, and write a story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Your sentences using your vocabulary words should make sense in your story. Always use the word in conversation with a parent, sibling, or friend. Level 4 activities. Once again, try to pick words from the board to write a story, beginning, middle, and end. However, this time for level 4, challenge yourself to include some of that figurative language we talked about, alliteration or onomatopoeia. Create a word ladder to show how synonyms compare. If you haven't done a word ladder in class, keep watching and I'll show you an example of how to make a word ladder. As always, use the words in conversation with a parent, sibling, or friend. If you happen to be on a call with your teacher, show her what you know as well. She'll be glad to hear it. Let's talk about word ladders. On the left, you see 5 boxes. Each of them is color-coded to help you follow along. The word in the red box says scream. That's a very strong, loud word for talking. In the purple box at the bottom, you see whisper, which is a very quiet kind of talking. In a word ladder, you arrange the words from weakest to strongest, or any other way that the category is organized. So, let's take a look at our example sentence. That's my sweater, Lester. And then you're going to fill in one of the words to help you figure out where they need to go. Your choices are said, giggled, and announced. The word announced means that you're going to share information. So when you announce, you want to speak loudly. So I'm going to put that word closer to scream than whisper, because screaming is louder than whispering. For me, giggling is something you might do quietly in case you're not supposed to be doing it. So I'm going to put it in my word ladder closer to the word whisper, because whisper is something you do quietly. I'm going to take the word said and put it in the middle. It doesn't mean quiet or loud to me, it's just in the middle. Does your word ladder have to look the same as my word ladder for these vocabulary words? Absolutely not. But if you do it differently, I'd love to hear why or how. So take some words from the story, see if you can think of some synonyms or similar words, and decide how you would arrange them. If you need help, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'm happy to work with you one-on-one on how to do a word ladder. That's it for activities. That's a lot of information, so feel free to reach out if you need help at any point. I can't wait to see what you guys do, and I will check in with you soon.